Hey everybody, and welcome back to JT's Toy Box. That's right, you're in my box. So kick back, relax, grab something to munch, because we're going to talk toys. That's right, we're going to talk Toy Talk. To get us started, let's talk about this massive toy haul that I just got myself into. I just keep shoveling myself into toys, mountains of toys, and I'm literally claustrophobic right now because I am scrunched in the corner of one of my shop's corners, and I'm just surrounded everywhere by these packages. So the quicker we can get them out of the package and onto the shelf, I feel a little bit more relaxed. But it feels good to swim in toys, doesn't it? It makes me feel good. So let's get started in talking about some of these guys. And some of them we have in and out of the package. There's a couple of stores that I went to. GameStop had a huge clearance, 50% off all of their clearance prices. That's awesome. Check them out because that just started. And then there's also Target. Target is like wanting to get rid of everything out of their store. So a lot of the new toy lines that have come up are now got yellow stickers on them, and they're wanting them to get them out the door. And I don't have a problem with helping in that, as long as they keep the prices cheap. Now, if you notice that the prices of toys have just gone up, I don't know whether or not I'm going to continue to be able to collect. I'd rather just pick them up on a clearance or a second market. But the stores, well, not the stores so much as it is the companies that are making these toys, is just like wanting too much money. Where the kids got this kind of money? They don't even have jobs. So they're focusing on people like you and me who do have jobs, and we can't stop buying. We just can't. But anyway, let's get back to these toys. First, I went to Walmart a couple weeks ago. Now, my toy haul video is going to span over the course of 3 weeks since my last video. And the first one was at Walmart. I was over in the garden section getting bug poison and some weed poison, I think it was. Yeah, weed poison and bug poison. I was doing a duo that day. And what did I see in the clearance of the toy section? They had made for, I don't know why they're getting rid of all their toys. This, Boba Fett. Boba Fett was 19 bucks, and it's a deluxe pack. You know these guys are worth about $40. And so anyway, I was really happy with picking him up. And I'm using the second one that I picked up to use as my mark, so it looks like I'm talking to Boba Fett on my end, but in actuality I'm actually staring at you guys in the digital world. But anyway, Boba is my visual aid character today, you know, to help me focus. And he's got a little lint on there. So anyway, he's got a pop-off head. He's got this old man head, which is cool, because I'm just going to put his helmet right back on where it belongs through the entire first season. And I'm really happy with this toy. It's going to go along with all my other toys. And he also had a jetpack, which fell off onto the floor somewhere behind my camera. But anyway, I'm really happy with that guy. And it's always cool to have two, right? So one minty fresh, one smells so good in the plastic, and then the other one, he's just going to, like, collect dust. So that was the first one. That kind of got my week started on week number 1. And then week number 2, well, that was at Target. I picked up quite a bit at Target. And then I also had some friends that came through with a couple of offers finalized. And so let's jump into those. Remember that story I had about swapping some toys? And I got these He-Mans. And these were ones that I was waiting for. So this is part of a new line. I have this blacked out Anti-Eternia He-Man, most evil man in the universe, it's said. And this one is going to be right out of the package. Oh, you're like, JT, you're crazy. But it also comes with this really cool comic book. So I'm looking forward to opening those. There's just a little bit of nostalgia there. And it is talking about Sunman, which I'm going to actually just say that Sunman's ability was to give He-Man there a really bad tan. There's Sunman, which I'm going to leave this guy probably in the package. And then I also got this Horde figure, the Horde Trooper, which is Army buildable. The more guys you have of that is going to look cool with any Skeletor attack on the Castle Grayskull I got going on over there in the corner. So thank you to my good friend who brought those to me. That was finalized, a special deal we made. along with all those past He-Man toys, and I'm looking forward to taking those out of the package and putting them up on my shelf, which is slowly losing real estate. Eternia needs to have a landmass migration, maybe somewhere else. All right. I also picked this guy up. It's a Sin City figure. I found this at a yard sale, and I think I paid $5 for him. This was a movie I don't remember very much about. I can't remember any of it. But I know that in real life, this guy who played this guy, he's the one that played the Kingpin and Daredevil. The Green Mile, you might remember him as the guy who was locked up. I just can't remember his name right now. And I like this figure. It comes with some really cool pistols. I'm going to leave it in the package because as warped and ripply as this package is, it is really holding this figure in good shape. I'm just going to put him on the shelf right there. All right. And then another Walmart trip. Another Walmart trip always pays off with these Predators. I'm going to take these guys out of the package too. There's this Special Hunter Weapons. What's it called? I don't know what this one is called. But he's blue. Let's talk about blue, and then limey. Blue and then limey figure. And yeah, there's one more. This one looks a little bit more traditional. But anyway, these are all put out by Leonard Toys. It's the second wave of the Preds. And I have a huge Predator collection right behind me here. These are all coming out of the package and going to be displayed. Why did they come out with a blue Pred? I don't know. Maybe he's in the water. I don't know. I just like collecting different colors. But you can always probably put like an antique wash on that and then kind of give it maybe that electric kind of look, as you know, when his thing is phasing in and out of his cloaking mechanisms. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I think you do. We talk toys. You got toys, I got toys. So you probably had the same toy. I went to Target and I picked up this Batman multiverse. This is the Dark Detective Future State. I don't know anything about this Dark Detective guy, but I did pick him up for really cheap, $9.99 at Target, clearanced off. It says here it was $19.99. It got 50% off on this toy. That's really good. And then I also picked up another one of these guys, another Black Adam. As you notice, I've trained myself not to say Shazam, but I still have a bad habit of wanting to. But this is a different version of the Black Adam. I now have 3 Black Adams. I have The Rock, I have the comic generic version of what he would look like in the comic books, and then I have McFarlane's version. I think they're all made by McFarlane, but this is McFarlane's, kind of like if he were probably to draw him, this is what he would make him look like. I think he looks pretty cool. He comes with a Build-A-Figure on the back. This guy right here, the Frost King, probably like a low-level bad guy, but I want to say that I already have the Wonder Woman, and I skipped out on getting Jon Stewart, only because I had a Jon Stewart. But after thinking and giving it some thought, I went to GameStop where these were on clearance, because they were 50% off of that price. And the reason why I picked them up is, even if I had another Jon Stewart, that single one I can probably sell. And then I can open up the Build-A-Figure and be okay with having 2 Jon Stewarts temporarily until I sell the other one off. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So keep the deluxe one and then try to sell off the single. But I hate it when they do reuse. Like they'll say, like, here's this toy and he's all by himself, and I buy him for this figure, and then later on they come out with another figure and it comes the same figure, but it comes with all this stuff. So it's like, I have that toy already, but I need the Build-A-Figure. So McFarlane, you gotta do a little bit more switcheroo, maybe with a color scheme change, and then you add the Build-A-Figure. But for that price, I'll buy it. it was give me away price, so I was really tickled about that. Oh, and I also got this Lex Luthor in a Superman outfit. Now this is also another reuse of this particular toy body. That does have a different head. The Lex head is actually the one that goes on the green Lex suit, but they put this head on the blue one and then gave this figure a cape. as the other one that had kind of like a dark side Lex Luthor look. That one did not have a cape. So he added and then switched heads, and he's reusing the whole entire Superman bodysuit, which doesn't look bad with his Lex on it, but I do have several Cavill heads that I got from my Witcher series, and I'm going to swap heads and see what he looks like on this, and just try to make my own figure. And then maybe Lex's head. I have 2 of these heads already, so I'm really happy about having this particular figure at the price. Again, this was a clearance price. And anytime these are on sale for like $9, that takes me back to my childhood. I mean, I can literally spend $100 and get 10 figures. So now you kind of know where I'm at. So anyway, that's that figure. Let's move on to an actual Witcher. Witcher, sir. There's another Cavill head. I'm going to take this guy out and add it to my other ones. I'm kind of building a Game of Thrones Brother Crows, you know, Brothers in Black. That's right. So anyway, I like the knight look. I really do. And it comes with a sword. Yay. Trying to go through this as fast as I can, guys. As fast as I can. It's getting crazy. Dune. Dune. Do you like Dune? I did not like this movie. I am a huge Dune fan. I even like Children of the Dune. That was pretty good too. But this new movie, it was just boring for me. The special effects were amazing. The acting, not so much. I mean, is it acting or is it staring? I'm not quite sure. But in any case, I do like the figures. I mean, I'm not really drawn to these guys because the movie was basically a stare fest. You know, it's like, oh, look at that sand. Look at that worm. That's what's kind of like what that is. See how you just kind of like lost interest in my video? That's because I'm trying to copy what their video was like. And I was like, no, make it in. Tremors, in my opinion, was a good movie. Better than this movie. But, like I said, I got the figure. It was cheap. It was marked down. I think I paid like $6 for this toy. And I needed the body part in order to build one of the bad guys. So, really happy. Happy, happy. We're always happy. I got a couple of the DC figures at GameStop. These were also 50% off, so I paid very little for him, about $10. No, less than $10. $6, $7, $9, I don't know math. Don't ask me to do math. Please don't ask me to do math. But anyway, let's talk about the figure. We got a yellow Flash. You could use this to be an anti-Flash, but honestly, I don't think so. I think, oh, it is. It says Reverse Flash. Okay, so this is supposed to be a bad guy, but this is actually another reuse. I have a white one, and then I've seen a red one. I have the white one. I thought that would be like a good Godspeed figure, and I think I've talked about that in the past, but it just seemed like they just kind of do like a color variant change all the time on the Flash. So once you have one Flash, you've had them all. I'm done. I am so done with Flashes. And then this is the Justice League Endless Winter Batman. Again, this is part of the Frost King wave, and I think that Frost King, once I build him, he's going to be migrated over to my Marvel Legends section, because they have Thor and Loki, and I wouldn't mind having a larger version of a Frost King, just because I don't have any Frost Kings that Loki would have been a figure part of in the line. So yeah, that makes it really good for that. Alright, we're going to have to take a break real quick. Get a little thirsty. Brought to you by G0. Not really, but there is 0 sugar in this and it tastes pretty good. Alright, so let's get out of camera focus just for a minute. Oh dear, oh dear. This is what I picked up this morning. I went to GameStop as soon as he called me. Oh, sorry about that glare. Oh, let's go over here then. Okay, there's Deceased Flash. Deceased Flash. So he's a zombified Flash figure. And there's a good picture of him too. I have 2 Deceased Flashes. I have also a Deceased Harley Quinn, remember? I don't know if you remember. But anyway, we have 2 Deceased from the Deceased line. And I talked to the guy at GameStop. He had quite a few of the other ones. He had the Superman, he had the Supergirl, he had Deathstroke, he had the Red Hood. I mean, he had quite a few. And they were also on a sale, but not a clearance. So they were $29.99. They're on a sale of $22.99. And this one came up on clearance of that price, so I got him for $12. And then I paid $22 the other day for her, and I'm cool with that. I needed this one. Out of all of them, I wanted Harley. And then as I would slowly accumulate the other ones on sale, I'm getting the Flash one next. And then as soon as the other ones are clearanced out, he'll save them aside, and I'm going to pick those up. All of them, actually, and I'll have the Deceased line. Now, mind you, originally, these are retailing for $30 a piece. Oh my goodness, I want to just take them out and display them, but until I get them all, they're going to stay in the package. I would, just for display right now, I think I'm going to display them like this on one of my shelves, and I'll know what's in it, but I don't have to take it out. And then I also have over in the other corner, I got a couple other of the DC Directs, but they're not from the Deceased line, but they all kind of fit in the same box, and they have pictures on the side. So anyway, I'm really happy to get those two, and I'm looking forward to getting, like the other 5? That's so crazy. That's so crazy. $30 for a figure. That is just so expensive. It's hard to buy toys nowadays, given that COVID is going on. People don't have jobs. Those who do have jobs got to pay for the bills. You know, economy, everything's going up and up and up and up. And eventually, everything's just not going to be affordable. And toys is a luxury item. I'm happy to have my job. But at the same time, you know, how are a lot of people supposed to be buying these toys? These companies are making billions of these figures, and where are they going? Are they going to be shipped to like a third world country or something? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But I've just noticed that once a new toy line hits the shelf, it automatically goes on clearance because its time has pretty much run out. It's been in some storage container for probably the length of its full sale. And then once these bigger stores like Walmart and Target and GameStop get their shipments, it's like going straight to a clearance because they have to be ready for the next wave. They're in contract with these companies to get the next wave. So who's really losing out on the sales is the store, because I'm pretty sure that Walmart and Target have paid full price for their negotiated, I'll buy so many thousands of this figure, you know. And then Hasbro and Mattel and all these other companies are super stoked, you know. They get to unload their merch. And then the stores, they don't get them on time. And guess what? Now it goes straight to clearance. And a lot of that profit is probably being lost big time. But they're huge. They're making it up in other ways. That's another whole total story. You can go off on a tangent I don't want to talk about right now. But what I'm really happy is the outcome is the clearancing. And so a lot of my toys now that toys are gone up so much in price is I'm going to focus on toys only on clearance. There are a few toys out here that I just really have to have. Like I think a couple weeks ago I bought that Man Bat. I paid like $40 for the guy. But I wanted to have it right then and there, and I knew I would have a hard time finding that particular figure again, and guess what? It went out of production. So I can't even find a second one right now unless I buy it on the secondary market, and that's just too expensive. So anyway, back to the toys. I did find this ugly looking monster. Oh man, he is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. He's like a spider swamp creature. And so anyway, that one's going to go probably over here in my Lord of the Rings section with all my other ugly creatures. He's going to be like an orc and stuff, but he comes from that show, The Witcher. It was one monster that was living in the bog. But anyway, I really like the spider look at it, and I'm just going to maybe do a head swap on that creature and put the sword up into his chin, which it has an alternate head, and I have to find a sword from one of my other figures. But anyway, I'm really happy to get him. And I've already have one of these guys. I'm having to bend over. There's a lot of toys all over the place. I already have one of these troll guys. This is also from the same toy line. I have this one out of the package, but not with any of the blood splatter on it. So he has blood on his hands. It's the same figure, just with blood. It's an ice giant. and I am just super stoked in having this guy. I paid $13 for him. He is normally $35.97. That's a clearance price. Let's go a little deeper. I'm not taking you back. We're going to see what the tag is under the tag. This was picked up at GameStop. It's the only place that I've been able to find them. I know there's another GameStop that has them. Maybe I can read it on the back. Nah, it can't be right. we'll peel it off. So anyway, there's only one other GameStop that I know that has one of them, but I saw them and it's still at the clearance price, and I could probably got them for like 17 or something. But once you have two, I don't need any more. I mean, I don't need to army build the same ice giant. I mean, that's just silly. I mean, who army builds ice giants, right? I do. Well, anyway, let's just say this was a little bit more than the 35 bucks. It was 50% off that. I only paid maybe like, well, actually, this was another purchase. So whoa, oh, that was close. I paid probably about $13 to $17 for this. I'm really happy to have two. And this is going to go in my Game of Thrones section, because this is when I didn't have a giant for that line, that toy line, and now I do. Now I do. Boo boo. Alrighty. Prediction came true. This was a peg warmer for sure. I did not expect to see her at the full retail price for very long. And this was the Crime Syndicate Superwoman. I am not really a big fan of this figure at all. But I am going to use it for other things. First of all, I'm going to build the Star Child thing, the Sparrow. And then with her, she's actually going to be, who was that figure in Superman in the Mirrorverse? She was with General Zod. So this is going to be that character. It looks supposed to be kind of like Wonder Woman, but I'm going to use her as a Ursa, I think. Ursa or Ursula or Ursa or something like that. Anyway, that's who this is going to be. It'll go next to General Zod, and I'll be super excited about that little crossover bit. Yeah. So, anyway, let's go on to the next. There's so much going on. Alright, I think I showed you already the Marvel Legends figures. Those guys right there. I can't remember. But anyway, I got two of him, and I'm going to army build a little bit on that price point. And I think I already may have showed you, I can't remember, the Lady Deathstrike, and that was with the same wave right there. I already have one or two of her, but you can't have enough, right? No, you can't. I have three of her, I think. And then I got this wave. I got the... what's it called, the Bone Breaker wave. So on the back here, you're supposed to be able to build that guy in the wheelchair, motorized army tank. And so anyway, I picked up this guy. His name is Darwin. I really don't know who he is. Don't really care. I'm going to make him my morph figure, because they came out with a morph. He has a similar head. And then I'll probably even just pop that head off and put it on, reuse this purple body for another X-Men character, because he does have an X on his belt, but I don't know who Darwin is. But this could also be like a Cyclops. I can put Cyclops' head on there. I think I have two Cyclops heads that I can alternate on this guy and make him just kind of like a Dark Ops X-Men suit figure, you know? That would be kind of cool. And then there's this Marvel's Vulcan. Anybody know anything about him? I've never heard of him before. But the figure itself is pretty cool. I could actually just make that a Mr. Marvel outfit, you know, maybe put something on his chest. These toys are all made for customization. Marvel Legends is really getting cool about that. And then I'm really looking forward to building the figure, Build-A-Figure wave. That's why I picked up this really puny version of Sabretooth. The back of the picture is really cool, but then it looks like he just went anorexic. He needs to eat more. This toy has had bad reviews all around from other toy people, and unfortunately, this is just not a really good version of Sabretooth. But you got to have some of these Build-A-Figure parts, and I picked these all up on a clearance price at Target for about $9 a piece. So I'm not going to pay $22 a figure for something that I'm not really invested in. But in order to build a figure and then have body swappable parts, I actually was going to get her, but wait until she clearanced out, and she did. But these other guys, I would have left Sabretooth on the shelf. I would have left Vulcan on the shelf and Darwin on the shelf. I'm just not invested in these characters that they're putting out. But you make them cheap enough, and then I'll spend some money. And so they did. And so that's where I'm at. When I was talking about clearances, I'm not into buying all the toys at the full prices anymore. I'm just going to buy them at the clearance prices. Wow, guys. So we just went through a small pile, and that is not nearly scratching where I need to be right now. So we're going to have to go a little bit faster. Okay. So I also picked up this figure at GameStop. You remember her? Anybody? Finnick Shad. She was in Marvel Legends. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was that main character that was in there for all the seasons. I really like this Mandalorian and Book of Boba. The toys in this scale, they're getting a lot better with the detail on the face. I gotta say, they're really scaling the likeness down and capturing what this person looks like in real life. As most of the toys are generic, these Star Wars toys are starting to get better and better and better. And then I got today at GameStop these clearanced out Fantastic Four figures. Now, I do have the Fantastic Four already. I have all of them. And out of this wave, I only picked up the Flash because he was the coolest looking out of the bunch. And I figured, well, I have Fantastic Four, and I don't need to have another version of them. But at the price, again, these were really super cheap. I paid about $6.99 or $8.99 for these guys. They were that cheap. And the packaging was just amazing. There's no damage on them whatsoever. GameStop is really good about making sure nobody damages the toys on their shelf. At least not on purpose. You know, accidents happen. But all their toys are usually in great shape when they come in. So I was able to pick up the Invisible Woman, who is not invisible, and then the Evolutionary guy, the High Evolutionary. And these were passes for me originally, but I will pick them up at a discount price. And like the thing that's on the back here is really cool. He comes with shorts, as my other one had some other kind of outfit on, but I'm really happy with the thing that I have. And if I were to get the Mr. Fantastic in one of these, then I would be okay with it at a discounted price. But I hit all my GameStops, and they didn't have anything other than these two. So I might have to find that somewhere else. But really good price on those, and I'm leaving them in the package because I like those blister packs. It really reminds me of the toys that came out back in the late 90s. So, moving on. Halo fans, here is the Arbiter. Yes. There's a short story about the Arbiter. I went to Target, and I was buying some toys on clearance. There was the ones that were for $9.99 and then the ones for $12.49. And this toy did not want to ring up. And so I took it to two employees. First one was a young lady in the electronics section. She scanned it and said, oh, well, if it doesn't scan, just go up and tell them, make up a price, and then they'll honor that price. And it's like, that didn't sound good to me. It didn't make me feel honest about doing that. I just felt uncomfortable in that recommendation. I mean, nice of her to offer, any price that comes to my mind, but I don't think that's how Target would appreciate it. So I went to the shelf where I found it, and I saw the smaller versions of the Halo figures, and those were $21.99. I took a snapshot with my phone, and then I went up to the front of the store, and there I found one of the guys who is a department manager in the check stand. And so I asked him, I told him, I said, hey, just let you know that this figure does not scan. And so he said, well, I'll save it for last then. And so he set it aside, and then he scanned my three other toys that I picked up. I picked up three of the DC Multiverse figures, which were on clearance. And then he scanned that one, and he didn't know what to do. So he said, well, I'll give it to you for this $12.49 price. And I said, okay. And so I didn't offer, to show him the picture because, for one, it's not my job. And in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I mean, you may have a different opinion, but it's not my job to go and do their job. So if they're comfortable with doing that at the register, then Target employees, that's where you're going to take advantage of a good deal. But I was okay with the $12.49. I'm not the one who was giving information. They were giving the information to me and making that choice for me, and so I was okay with it. I was comfortable. Now, if they would have said, "Do you remember the price?" and I said, "No, I didn't see a price. I already asked one of the young ladies. Here's a picture," and then I would have shown the picture, and then I would have felt good about that purchase too. Paying $21, because I think this figure right here, the size and the mass scale of the size of it, is probably like a $30 figure. I'm pretty sure it's not the price of the others, and the fact that it's not even in their system yet probably tells me this is brand new. It's probably street dated, and they didn't come up as street dated. But they scanned the barcode on the back, and whatever barcode is there, they couldn't look it up. So I'm not going to argue. Why should I argue? I'm just here to get toys, man. It's your job to turn them out. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, right. So anyway. On the DC multiverse, we're going to talk about these guys. These were also clearance figures. This one was the one I was talking about, the Jon Stewart. I do have him already, but he doesn't have all the Build-A-Figure parts. So I'm going to take that other single that I have of Jon Stewart and probably sell it off on a secondary market. And then this Wonder Woman, I think I have her already. I'm pretty sure I have her already, but the guy at GameStop said, "Go ahead and buy it now. If you have it, bring it back and I'll give you your money back." And so I felt comfortable then. It's like, well, if I have it as a duplicate, then, I'll go ahead and just return it. So he says, "I'd rather you buy it now and get it than to not buy it and come back and it's not here." And it's like, dude, you spoke the words of truth. Oh, boy. Oh, man. It's like, whew. Speaking my language. I'm crazy. I also got Batgirl. This is another version of Batgirl. I have two Batgirls, maybe three, but this is a new one. This is one that I was thinking about buying, but decided not to because the price was $22 bucks, and then it came on clearance for $16.97. 50% off of that makes it really cheap, and I'm not going to argue with dirt cheap. And the same goes for this guy. And this is Shriek Unmasked. So there's an alternate version of him where he has his mask on. I want to say that I have it, but I'd have to go digging through all my toys over there. And I'm just happy with having another figure. You can always army build these guys. Head swap. I can put him as a knight on one of my black knights. There is some damage to the box, so he will be coming out. See, look at that. Oh my goodness. So he will be coming out of the box. He was on clearance for $13.97 at GameStop. 50% off of that makes this like $6.99. I was really tickled about it. I mean, this is dirt cheap, cheaper than Target dirt cheap. All right, I have a massive graveyard of just figures here on the floor, so we're gonna have to probably pause this video and do it from a different angle because I got two bags over there, and then I have some massive toys over here that I'm going to show. And just to give you an idea of what we're going to talk about, and I lost my train of thought real quick. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Star Wars. Yeah. I picked this guy up on an offer-up. That's right, an offer-up. So there's probably some snotty-nosed kid that had his face in this toy. But luckily for me, I remembered that Windex and Cinch usually clean a lot of this. So I'm really happy to have not one, not two, but three of these masks now. And now I can make noises.
All clear, General. Cover me! All units, fire at will! Sir, we're taking heavy fire. Roger that, sir. Gunships are holding at a safe distance. The mission always comes first, sir. I get a bad feeling about this, sir. We've got you outnumbered!
So, anyway, that is pretty cool, man. That is so sweet. Really happy to have another one of these First Republic helmets that's going to go up on a shelf. I told my dad the other day and my mom, I said, hey, you know, after I showed them what I picked up there, I says, I got 3 of them. I should put them on stakes out in the side of my yard, you know, like the Ewoks. And I thought, then it's like, well, the sun would probably damage them pretty bad. So when I probably got about 12 dozen of those, some special deal I come across in the future, then I'll do that. But right now with the 3, I'm just going to put them inside. But wouldn't that be cool? I mean, if you had so many of those, or they're so badly damaged that they're not really good for shelf warmers anymore, but you can use them outside as like garden art, that's thinking outside the box, man. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to grab this real quick because we're going to have to do some moving around. And I'm tired of sitting on this stool, so I'm going to stand up. Oh, stand up. Oh, man, the pain. I can feel it. I can feel the pain. All right, we're going to switcheroo. I picked up this guy just the other day. I picked him up. It's a TIE fighter. And I think that's the one, maybe Kylo Ren, maybe been in or something, because it's got that red stripe on it. It is made for the... let's see, here we go. It's made for the 7-inch Black Series action figures, so it is huge. I don't know where to put it right now, but the person originally that had it wanted it for $60 on OfferUp. Trying not to step on the toys that I got. Oh boy, let's sit down again. My butt. They wanted $60 for that toy. And I was really happy with 60, but I'm so greedy I had to offer him 40, and she took it. Oh my goodness, she took it. So I'm really happy to have it for $40, but it is massive. And now I know exactly what she was talking about. She said she wanted to get rid of it because it was taking up space. It belonged to her kid who was in college, and that is just typical. I mean, once the kids fly the roost, the family just gets rid of all the stuff, you know? But that's where I'm here, and I'm here to collect. So anyway, I'm really excited about having that toy. Where to put it is just, don't know what to do about that. Alright, so anyway, we're going to reverse camera real quick, and we're going to take a look at this TIE Fighter. Again, this is a toy I picked up on an OfferUp. It was $60, and I offered the $40, and the mother took it. And I was really happy with that. She was happy with that. And it's made for, again, the Black Series is the 7-inch scale. So this is a humongous toy. I mean, you can kind of see my Pops and other figures right behind it. And I only just brought it out here in order to show on this video. And then it's going to go somewhere in my house in one of my comic book rooms. But it's just huge. And it's a space hog, you know. But it's a really cool space hog. And I looked it up online, and it goes for about, it just depends, anywhere from about $130, that's used. And then if it had still the box and everything, it would probably be about 200 something bucks. So I'm really happy with $40. The $40 ended up being a $130 toy, and it was a really good investment. Also, it was also really big, right next to it, was this G.I. Joe on this cannon, this dual cannon fire setup. And I found that at a used treasures thrift, and it was one of the first toys I saw on the shelf. It had a sale price of $12, and my mom was with me. That's why moms are always welcome to come along on a thrift, because she was able to use her senior discount, and I picked that up for like $10. So anyway, 2 humongous toys, and I just don't really know where to put them right now. They're going to be hard to integrate. I really need to stay away from big stuff like this and just stay with the figures, you know. But when their accessories are that big and you come across them, it's cheap. Oh boy, you know, you just get greedy and you don't know where to put it. But then you get the problem of, like, I bought something to hang on the wall and I don't know where to hang it because I'm out of wall. So what do? Well, you put it in storage. So anyway, let me pause the video. We're going to go around to another spot of the shop, because right now I'm hemmed in on both sides. Just to give you an idea, I mean, I literally have a clutter of toys that we just talked about right now. And then over here, it's kind of blocked off where I can't even get over there. So anyway, we're doing a little improv right now. And I kind of like doing this, you know. I haven't usually just stood up over there. But we're going to stand up and get some exercise. So let's pause real quick. Alright, so I turned around, and it's kind of, I'm hemmed in right now. So you're kind of seeing how I got it set up over here. New toy is the Robocop by Neca. This figure right here is in awesome condition box-wise. I made sure of it. There were about 4 of them on the shelf, and I picked that up. I have a Robocop from an earlier line. This is basically the same toy, you know. They just repurpose it in new packaging, but he came out years and years ago. The only sad thing about this figure is somewhere I lost his gun, and I was really just ticked off that I couldn't find it. It's probably under the bed or somewhere, but you know, I've cleaned my room since the move, and I can't find anything. It's got to be around here somewhere. But now that I have another one, I have another one with a slight different paint variant on it. Let's do it like this. Sorry, I don't know which way I'm supposed to be doing this, but anyway, we're gonna do that. Anywho, that toy, I can make a mold of the figure and totally make my own guns from now on. I watched a craft show on the YouTube, and the guy shows me how to do that, and I'm totally comfortable with getting the materials and making my own toys now. So I'm going to start that pretty soon too. Let me pause this video, find out where my angles are. I forgot if I'm on landscape or if I'm on portrait. We're on landscape, that's right. So sorry for that crookedness. I should have learned my lesson many videos ago. But yeah, I just actually learned about the size of the this camera thing that I'm using here, and there's different settings, and so it's just a slow process, and you gotta bear with my rookie mistakes. So yeah, you're being a rookie now, you know. So let's do a reversal. Whoosh. Yeah. And back where we were talking about what? This Robocop? Yeah, we're talking about that Robocop right there. Whoosh. And then we're talking about that Robocop right there. Not that big one, but the little one right there. And whoosh. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, we were talking about making our own molds for the guns for future toys, and there are a few toys that I'd like to make using what is it, like a resin casting? It's a really cool concept in order to make stuff. So anyway, back to the toys. Next, there was the Hobgoblin that we were able to grab. I'm really happy to have that. In a past video I said, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it, but then once I saw the sculpt and the face, it was a lot different than the one that I had, so I did pick them up. And then here's another clearance that I picked up at GameStop. Again, 50% off of that. Made that Batman dirt cheap. Super cheap. And I'm so happy to get clearance items. Again, we're only doing clearance items. And along with some of those clearances were these guys. Oh, knocking stuff over. Oh no! Boba Fett just got taken out by the T-Rex. Yeah. This is the problem I'm having, guys. I just like so many toys. I got this Mum-Ra. Mum-Ra was cool. Thundercats. And then let's dig into the pile here. We got Chitara. Or Chitara. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I picked her up too. There are a few others on the list. There's Lionel and Panthro, but I don't see them in any of my GameStops. Eventually, I'll come across them, but for the price point, it was super cheap. And then over here, as you can see, this big, ugly-looking Frankenstein guy. This guy I picked up for $5 at the yard sale. He is a Halloween mask, but I don't celebrate Halloween, so this is just going to be for decoration. And I was able to put a stuffed animal cat from that big fat cat from Pets. He's upside down. There's his head right there. You're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? There he is. He's there right there. So anyway, he's kind of filling in this mask, which I'll put right there. And then I had some eyeballs that popped out, but anyway, I have a whole bunch of eyeballs, and I really like that mask. That's pretty cool. And then I picked up this Batman for I think $3.99. He's a huge giant Batman at a Goodwill about a week ago. So anyway, really cool. Really happy to get a good deal. I finally was able to get out of that corner. It looks like an avalanche of toys just like fell off the shelves, but they're literally, those are the shelves that are waiting for these guys to come out of their boxes. So That's the mess that I have. This is the problem that I always have. Where am I going to put these guys? Alright, so we're going to move around the shop because I need to stretch my legs. We've been talking for a long time. My butt is getting kind of itchy and sore from sitting on that stool. And there's something I really wanted to show you guys. This is cool. I picked it up at a thrift the other day. It is called The Claw. And I already have a big giant alien right there. He's kind of just sitting on top. The goal with this particular toy is to actually put it over there next to some of my other toys. See those guys right there? So the little alien guy was in that little void, but I'm going to have to scrunch all those over and make room for this toy. So anywho, it fully works. I put some batteries in and it does work. So we're going to activate it real quick by putting just a little something that trips the sensor. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh man. Anywho, you guys get the idea. Oh my goodness. It works, I swear. Oh, and you can move it around. Oh, it's stuck. Okay, so anyway, but it fully works. Everything on this thing is cool. It takes 3 of the D batteries, and I'm just really digging having a claw. It's called The Claw, and I got enough of the little aliens that I kept in this big giant alien because he's kind of like got a mouth that opens, and I put all the toys down in there. There's like bigger ones down in there. Can you see? Oh, hello. So anyway, I'm going to end up probably taking this spaceship that came with a lot of these small guys. I'll probably affix it to the top and kind of glue it, or I just might just set it on top with the big one on, and just kind of make it as if it was made for the aliens. I don't know yet, but I am super happy. And then I came across this at a consignment store. It's a code breaker of a Spider-Man toy that came back 1980. This is about a year before I was born, and nothing on the back, nothing really, but this is really super cool. So anyway, that was a big toy that I needed to tell you guys about that I wouldn't be able to do just by sitting there on my stool. And then anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, guess what? We got these 2 bags to go through from some of the consignment stores and thrifts that I was able to find. But my battery on this phone is getting a little low. Just gave me a warning, and I need some more juice. So let's get juiced up. Yeah, that's right. So we left off with finishing with most of the toys in the packages, and then we had 2 bags left. And now we're going to be talking about toys that I picked up from a consignment store and a few thrifts here and there, and there might be some randoms, but let's get started with the bags that we have and wrap this puppy up. So I went to, what's the name of that place? Big Lots. Big Lots is kind of like a, I don't know if they're a grocery store. They do sell food and they do sell other things, but I don't know what they're called. But Big Lots is Big Lots. They just have stuff. So if you go in there, they're going to have toys, they're going to have furniture, they're going to have housewares, they're going to have some food. So it's a little bit of everything. I don't really shop at Big Lots, but it's next to a thrift store. And so me and my mom, we went and stopped in at the Big Lots. And while I was visiting their toy section, I came across this small, little tiny Viewmaster. And what's the topic of the Viewmaster? Masters of the Universe. So I picked up 2 of these. One to keep in the package, and I have some plans for that. And then I opened one that I wanted to see what the pictures were inside. And they're really simple stills of like He-Man, Skeletor, a version of He-Man that's kind of like Wonder Bread Man, you know, but I don't know who that guy was, but I don't have that toy in my collection. But it's a cool little Viewmaster. It's all been shrunk down to a small size. Most of the toys that they make are all small. And then next to that, I came across these 2 guys. These are called Flexstream, and He-Man and Skeletor were the only 2 that they had. These are made by Mattel from Canada, Ontario, Canada. And anyway, I think they're really cool. The Skeletor is the one that I really wanted to get. I wasn't too crazy about this He-Man. I think he looks a little cartoony. I mean, they both look cartoony, but this one right here looks cool. I have a staff that would be perfect for that. We've actually unboxed that staff with another toy. I'm trying to figure out where I put that toy. But anywho, those are 2 really cool toys. I can go looking for stuff for take me days. But anyway, I'm going to add that to the collection of He-Man over there. And then I went to a consignment store yesterday, and for $7,
me like cookie. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, me love cookie.
Yeah, that's right. So it looks like he has like a moving mouth, and he has this really cool plastic cookie jar and cookies all around. And he's a little dirty. I'm going to have to clean him up just a little bit right here on the nose. But by the looks of it, once I get batteries in him, his eyes should spin around like crazy eyes. And then his mouth may move. These puppet hands don't do nothing. But on the back here, have you ever seen anything that says satellite on it? It says Satellite Jacks. Satellite Jacks. So any idea what that means? I'm going to have to look it up on the internet. But it does take, it looks like 4 of the double A batteries, and then something might be going on there on the back with a jack. But anyway, nevertheless, it's a really nice piece to put on the shelf. He's got a lot going on for him right there with all this decoration and cookies. He's a plush, but he's electronic, and you can feel it all up in here. This is all hard. And the only soft parts are his feet and his hands. So I'm really happy about getting this big guy right here. This is, to me, what Cookie Monster would probably be about the size of if he was an actual Cookie Monster in real life. So, super excited. I mean, $7 for something Sesame. You don't really see very much Sesame stuff. And at the same consignment booth, the guy was selling these records here for $2 a piece. And so I got Jungle Book on LP. I found this really nice Conan the Barbarian on LP. I thought this had a comic book that came with it, but it doesn't. But there's 4 different stories on there. The Jewel of Ages, Shadow of the Stolen City, the Thunder Dust, and the Crawler in the Mist. And so there's a little there on the back. And I find Conan the Barbarian artwork really cool. And then I found this Wonder Woman, which is not in the greatest of shape, and also this Superman, which is also not in the greatest of shape. But these are comic book, follow-along, read-along records, and they're really, really cool. They're put out by Peter Pan Records. So this was probably back in the 70s. Yeah, 1977 for the most part for these guys right here. And then if you opened them up, there's some really nice artwork inside for the comic book. So for me, being an LP collector and a comic book collector, that's right up my alley. And I'm going to pop them in the LP a little later and just kind of listen and give the story a good spin. Same consignment booth, but a different week. I came across this Ninja Turtle vehicle. I think this is the second one that I have. This one has better decals on it than the one that I have, so you're able to put your little figure in there and it clamps down on the figure to keep them in, like a little motorcycle, a trike. And I also found this incomplete He-Man Wind Rider, and it's just missing the little flaps that go on the side. All of them will always miss the flaps. The one time that I found a He-Man vehicle with the flaps was at a Comic-Con. The guy was wanting, I think, like $15 for the whole thing, and I just got through spending money on a bunch of Star Wars toys, and so I thought I'll come back later. If it's still there, I'll pick it up. I came back later, and somebody stole the accessories on the toy and just left the Wind Rider itself. So somebody else had this, and they stole the guy's toys, accessories. And so I asked him, I said, well, how much would you want to sell that now? And he says $5. So I picked one up like this. So I have two, and they're both in the same condition. They don't have the wind flaps. But this makes my second Wind Rider. And I know that pretty soon, given that they're releasing all these vintage retro He-Mans, that they will have a Wind Rider that'll probably have better articulation and movement than this vintage one. But I always like getting a hold of anything that's He-Man. And speaking of He-Man and a Toy Story crossover, this is Toy Story's version, I guess, of a He-Man toy. And I'm going to start collecting these guys when I find them, because they look just like a He-Man, totally compatible with the shelf, and I just really dig it. So if you do like Toy Story or you like He-Man, these guys are awesome. Most times when I find them, their antennas are broke, they're missing wings, usually a dog or something that's chewed on the feet. This one's in really good shape, and I think I paid like $3 for this. $3 this toy. I got a Hulk Hogan from the same booth. This guy is pretty consistent with his prices. He's dirty, but this LGN Hulk Hogan with pink chonies, he's $3. And so there's a technique, if you ever want to restore these, you can look them up on YouTube. Usually it has to do with acrylic paints, and you can use like a glue, like a Mod Podge, in order to kind of seal the paint from coming off. I got as far as painting my Hulk Hogan's and my other figures, and then I didn't do the gluing part in order to seal it. And so once you put them in a bag and the heat kind of gets to them, the paint will come off. So you have to follow through. So I'll have to repaint all my figures again. But I love collecting these guys when they're in good shape. And these guys are from the mid 80s or late 80s, and they're really cool to collect. Now, a little bit of my childhood. My first memories of having a bottle were these guys. And I was talking to somebody at work about the first things that we can remember as a kid. And one of the two first memories I have are missing my bottle, which I think I was missing this guy. And I do remember trying to find it in my parents' bed when I was little. And then also there was I think going to Disneyland. Disneyland was one of my first memories too. But as I was thinking about it, I thought, man, I wonder if these are still available, and they were. So I picked both of these up on eBay. I paid about $15, shipping included. They're very inexpensive. I'm going to go get me some rubber nipple tops, or just some lids that might fit on top so I can actually use them for something. Maybe salt and pepper shakers, I don't know. But I'm really happy to have these. These are very fond memories of my early childhood memories. And I don't really remember that much, but those two things, well, I remember going to Disneyland and crying, and then I remember having these as a kid, so I'm really happy. And then when I showed them to my mom, she remembered these. And so anyway, these are very, very cool to have. And I found this at a yard sale. I paid $5 for it. It's a Mighty Max Dragon Mountain. It is missing quite a few of the inside accessories, like the people, but I do have people to put in it, and it just basically it opens up to a play set. That's what all Mighty Max does, and it's in really good shape. For the $5, I'm super excited. I'm always excited. I'm always super excited. But it really gives me much joy in order to find toys like this, and it's not broke. So this is a cool dragon piece. You can see here's like the dragon head, and there's the eyes, and I guess these are supposed to be the horns. It is missing the little fiery missiles there, but this is simply going to go up on my shelf and sit there just like that. And then I have Virgil, and I have Mighty Max, and I have a bunch of monsters that I can always add to these guys. I used to have more of these when I was younger. Unfortunately, I just don't know what happened to them. But I do have about 2 in my collection. This makes 3. And this was probably one of the most expensive ones because of the size. Most of these are about the size of your hand. And this one right here is like a deluxe one. So I know for a fact, in the day, this was a very expensive toy. So picking that up for $5. Yeah, that's right. So a lot of these toys that I'm going to show you now were in packages when I bought them, but I didn't want to keep them in the package because the packages were pretty tore up, pretty jacked. So we're going to start off with this guy. This is from Guitar Heroes, and I also have this guy. He's also from Guitar Heroes. Let's see if I can pinch them together and hold them in one hand. Okay. And I think I have one other guy. Oh yeah, the God of Rock. I have this guy too. So I picked these guys up. They're from the video game that you would have played back in the day. Can't remember if it was Nintendo 64 or Dreamcast or even just PlayStation. I think PlayStation for sure. But they were on pretty much several formats. But for Guitar Hero, these were the guys you would play. And I picked them up $5 a piece, still in the package. I'm going to take them out, put them up on my shelf over there. They're really cool. And I just dropped one, but he's okay. He just fell off the base. And then I also found the Spawn figure. He was also in the package, and I guess he can hold on to this chopped, severed head that he just killed. And that was really neat. It's an original Spawn, probably 2nd or 3rd wave, but I don't have him, and he's cool to have. And I have one of these up on my shelf. These are from the King Kong Skull Island wave, but I usually integrate it with my Lord of the Rings. And so now I have not 1, but 2 of these bamboo spiders. If you remember, these are the ones where they're walking through the bamboo field, and then the guy just got skewered through the head by one of these stick spiders, and things are humongous. But I'm really happy to have that. As long as it has all the legs, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. And I pick up really weird stuff like this. It's cute. It's a baby shrimp. It's not a dog toy or nothing. I don't know what toy line it's from. It's got a weird, funny face. It's probably like SpongeBob or something. I don't know. But anyway, cool toy. And I also found Fievel Goes... Oh, no, not Goes West. This is a Fievel, the American Tale, the soundtrack. So I was able to pick this up. And I haven't even checked it to see if it's scratched or anything inside. But I like this cartoon. I've always liked both of those cartoons a lot. Now, I found him for $5. $5 at a consignment store. I've been told that these are like He-Man toys or something, but I have one of these in a different color, I think. It's like a rhino or something, but this is like a lizard dog. So cool. I love it. I've always wanted one of these, and to find it, and the guys just had it so cheaply priced, you can't pass that up. And I bought this. It's a wind-up toy, a drumming animal, and I've already wound it up. It works. Everything's cool inside. It's one of these cheap toys made in China, and but at least it works. And it's kind of cool to have something that looks old, but I'm sure it's not old at all. Okay, and getting down to the bottom of the box here, this guy is Shaq O'Neal. Let's see if I can put this peg in there. Oh, maybe it goes in like that, maybe? I don't know. Oh, yeah, here it goes. You shove that up right in there, and then it looks like he's jumping. But it's Shaq O'Neal if he was all like Conan'd out or something. It doesn't even look like Shaq. But I've already thought about making him into something else, but he's got a basketball in his hand, and sneakers, but he really looks like the guy who was in Thulsa Doom from Conan the Barbarian, but all hipped up with basketballs. But anyway, you take the guy, you put snakes on him, that's what it reminds me of, is the guy from Thulsa Doom. But it's a cool toy. I paid about $5 for him. I have a lot of Shaq cards. Just to let you know, unfortunately, Shaq cards are only worth something if they're with the LA Lakers. Unfortunately, I got some of his Orlando Magic cards, and rookie card isn't worth squat. But it's cool to have it, but most people just don't care about how he got his start. They only care about when he played with the others, and that's just unfortunate, especially for me, since I have most all of his cards in Orlando. Maybe one day. Picked up some random stuff at a thrift. I got this cool monocle hamster, and picked up this movie, A Bug's Life. It's really funny. I like this guy the most, and I like how mean this little ladybug is. Now, here's a little bag of trinket toys. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there was one in here that I really, really digged. Here we go. Let me get her out. It's always in the bottom. So there's little tiny robot people. There's little caveman people. There are toys in here. It's just like a grab bag I picked up that says $2.50 on it. So just to kind of give you an idea, you know, there's just some randoms, cavemans and robots and stuff. But put all that aside, the one golden piece. Oh! You didn't hear her, she's so small she screamed. The one golden piece that I really, really liked, let me see if I can get a focus on that, there we go, is this little tiny girl. And why? Because I have some King Kongs that would be amazing to go with that. And so I don't know where she comes from. Anybody got any ideas? Let me know. But this one right here I need more of, because I have several King Kongs. So like I said earlier with the Robocop, I have a missing gun that goes to my Robocop, and now with the new Robocop that I got, I can pop that gun out, make a casting, and I can make a duplicate gun for my other figure. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to make a ton of these little tiny ladies, and then I'm not going to sell them, but I am going to have plenty on hand, so when I have King Kongs, they'll have little tiny women in white dresses that I can put in his hand. But this right here, to have found that in a small bag. I've been looking on eBay. I mean, be careful what you type in on eBay, but you type in like miniature women or whatever like that, you're going to come up with a bunch of random stuff, and the stuff you don't want to see and things like that. So this is exactly what I was looking for. A blonde chick in a white dress, and it's the scale that I need. This I would say would be about a 28 millimeter. As the other ones that I was looking at was about 54 and 75 mil, which kind of goes to about this, let's see, that big and then that big. So this is a 28, and it's perfect. That right there is treasure. And got one of these bobble-headed dudes. This is a Marvel toy, I think. I'm not quite sure. But he'll go on the shelf over there with the He-Man stuff. And here, let me move this bag up a little higher so I'm not running over all the time. This is a vintage toy. Let's see, 1984. And he's missing a pipe. So as soon as I can whittle out a pipe, he'll have a pipe back. But Popeye is not really something I collect, but when I see it, I pick it up. Because I know that these things are highly sought after for collectors, and maybe one day I'll find somebody who wants a Popeye toy. Found Petrie. So now I have a Petrie go with my Land Before Time Pizza Hut figures. I also just picked up Ducky and another Sarah the other day, but I paid $3 for him. He's in really good shape. I need to wash him so he gives a little bit more luster. There's more dust on here than you can see in person. And then this guy. Don't ask me why, but when I picked him up, this guy was $5. All the other toys that were next to him, same size, less clothes, G.I. Joes, they were all like $12. So yeah, I picked him up. He has all of his no, he doesn't have accessories, but I mean he has his vest, he has his shoes, and it's a really cool Cobra Commander outfit. It goes all the way around. He's got snake shoulder pads. It's a cool looking toy. It'll go with that cannon thing that I showed you guys earlier. Maybe I'll have him like pointing, and it's the other guy's like, you know, it's just cool. That's really neat for $5. And I like plushies, so I got me this bat plushie. I think I paid like 50 cents for it. Anybody know anything about these? I think you get them at Disneyland. I'm not a big fan of it, but I didn't pay very much. It even somebody taped the gun on it. So I think I have this one and a Jack Sparrow Mickey Mouse that looks nothing like Jack Sparrow. From the Cartoon Aristocrats, I got this little guy in the bottom of a box. I didn't pay very much for him either. I wish I had the price tag, but he's going to go on the shelf. And then Scrooge Mcduck. Me gold. Scrooge is gold. And he was in a package, and it came with a little golden idol. So if you put that in his hand, he could hold it. I'm going to put him over on the Walt Disney shelf. And I've seen this one at Walgreens, but I picked it up at the same yard sale I got everything for like $5 at, and that was a good find. Okay, what else do I got? This little Wonder Woman. I think this is a toothbrush holder. I have a Batman and a Superman, so now I have the three-piece collection now. And then this was from Black Widow. I think this was either Natasha and or her sister. I can't remember. Or, you know what? I might be wrong. Maybe not. So it's either that or Hawkeye. It's probably the chick from Hawkeye. I can't remember. But it could be whatever you want. I mean, these things are pretty much marshmallow heads. You can make them whoever you want them to be. And then I picked up Daenerys. I think I'll put her inside with my Game of Thrones stuff. And then I've also got a Mega Man. So those are really cool finds. Mega Man stuff is usually what you find at GameStop. I get this at a yard sale. I paid $5. He comes with hand swaps and a few weapons for accessories. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much the end of it. I mean, that's a lot of toys to go through. And this is one of the largest toy hauls I've had. Maybe I should do this once a week instead of once every 2 or 3 weeks. I really don't want to have super long videos, but I love chatting with you guys. That's going to wrap it up for the toys that I have. I'm really excited about where I'm going to put some of them. And if there's anything that you saw that you like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought was cool. Let me know if I said something that was maybe something you wanted to hear more about. I'll message you back. Alright? Well, thanks for tuning in. And remember, look for the clearance the sales. Those are the best things to go after, is all the clearances. You don't want to waste your money on full price. I'm going to change my perspective up here, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait for that clearance. So, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great day. See you later.